I know you're not subscribed, but subscribe now. Because I know you want to look like this. I know you want to make up look like this. Hey, so for the past couple of days, I don't know what it is, but I've been on my like goth vibe. The way I've been going out in the world, you would think I was emo. Like, so I was like, why not lean into it more? Really get into the nitty gritty. I've been seeing this look on my TikTok and Pinterest for so long, and I think it's time for us to recreate that today. So if you want to see how to do a white eyeshadow look for a black girly and get in our feelings and be emo, continue watching the video. For skin prep, I'm going in with my Embroilise moisturizer. I don't know why I go in with certain primers on certain days and other ones on other days, but this is what I'm feeling today, and you're asking me too many questions. Double moisturize with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Skin Base. I do it with products I don't use often, because it's just like, why would you double moisturize? But it makes the products like really sit well on the face. And then of course my Danessa Myricks Water Powder Serum. So what do? For this look, I have no idea how to prime my lid. So I don't know what to do. Okay, let's go in with our regular P. Louise with concealer and like let it really dry down. I'm taking that on my metal palette and my brush, and we are starting. Are you nervous? Me personally, a lot of people don't, but I love a lot of product right under my brow, like right at my brow arch, just because like it just emphasizes the brow arch like that much more. But if you don't, place your base a little bit under and then blend it upwards as you go. With the thick brush, blend out those edges. So when you're working with eyeshadow, you're gonna want to work with brushes that you are comfortable with, because you don't want to pick up a brush and have it work unexpectedly, and then now you have like a muddy eyeshadow look, or a color is placed where you didn't want it to be, and now you have to do a whole bunch of stuff to fix it. I personally know that I have like a certain few brushes that I just love to work with, and I just pick up every single time, and we don't have multiple of the same brushes. So if you are a makeup girly or a makeup artist, I would highly recommend a makeup like switching sponge, a shadow switch sponge. I don't know what they're actually called. This one is so old, I literally got it from Wish. If you know, you know. If you're old enough to know what Wish is, that's crazy, because now the girls are calling it Temu. I've never heard of Temu. Who is you? But I got me mine from Wish and like AliExpress. So it's cheaper on Wish and AliExpress, but if you want it fast and if you're doing makeup every day, you can check on my Amazon storefront. Check the link in the description for a link for one on Amazon you can get on Prime the next day, overnight, whatever the case may be. It's getting real, y'all. For the white, we're going to go in with the Made by Mitchell color case essentials version, because essentially we gonna need it. And we're gonna go in with this white shade. I personally like to warm it up a little bit by just like swirling it around on my metal palette with my spatula, just because it's like easy to work with and you're not working with like clumps of makeup. I'm just gonna coat my brush with the white. Just lay it down. I don't know, like I have to get it on my lashes. Okay, I'm just laying that all over my lid and in my inner corner. It doesn't have to be perfect at this stage. Ooh, it's kind of giving, yeah, it's kind of giving, ooh, I love that. So because we're putting cream on cream, the color is going to get less white and more of a light brown, but it's important to just tap instead of swiping, just to kind of minimize that, and try to keep the center as white as possible, because that's kind of where you're just going to see the white the most, is in the center of your eye. Pat it and leave it alone. Okay, I don't know what to do next. So the reason why I say get you one of these, if you need a clean brush in the middle of your look, like you automatically have one. Short, condensed, fluffy brush. And I'm gonna start buffing out the edge. I don't know about this. I don't know what I'm doing. Now would be the time for you to like make any edits with the white, as far as kind of the silhouette of the eye that you want. I don't really want to cut crease. I kind of want the basis of the white to be on my lid. I'm gonna kind of build up that white color. Make sure I tap out the creases because it's cream on cream product. I do kind of want some curvature at the end actually. So I'm gonna drag it out just a little bit. I'm gonna go in with a tiny version of that same flat brush, and I'm going to make some edits in the inner corner. I'm gonna switch my brush because too much product is getting on it. Now I'm gonna take my Mario Master Match palette, but in the cool tone version, and I'm gonna take the white. I'm gonna pick it up on a tiny compact brush, and I'm gonna start packing that on top of the white to set. Make sure there are no creases, and don't be afraid, like swirl the brush in the pan. swirl it in the pan, get some kick up, and press on the shadow. The reason why I went in with the cool tone palette is because why would you want a warm cream white? You would want a white that's gonna pop and that's gonna be cool toned and it's gonna be icy because you want it to be like a true white. Now I have this cheap rink-a-dink eyeshadow, but the white buzzes, so I'm gonna use that. Yeah, see, that's why I like having a lot of makeup, because sometimes like some things just work even though it's not the most expensive thing, but like some things just have that one thing that works really well for them and you just got to keep the whole thing. Like, but you see that, you see the difference. This is Makeup by Mario in Sephora. I don't even know where I can get this palette anymore. Like, I don't even know where I got it to begin with. Don't be discounting makeup just because it's cheap. This has a huge okay, because you really have to swirl it and get into it. That just goes to say that I'm a big huge fan of Fallout. Like, at this point, that's what I am, the Fallout queen. I'm going back in with the Makeup by Mario. I'm gonna take in 10 and I'll pick that up on a very flimsy, wishy-washy blending brush for my transition shade to deepen up the crease and kind of go more into that cool color story. Oh, I'm actually kind of scared for this one because I already did too much and I kind of don't like it anymore. This eye always comes out better. Like, what does a girl gotta do? Okay, so I put too much shadow on this eye. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a translucent powder. I'm gonna take a fluffy flat brush. Just gonna like sweep that over to see if that can do anything for me. Also just go into the brow because I just love it when you do your brows with matte brows. So that was a lot of brows. Let me browse on how to say brows less. I'll stop. Going in with the brush that we used to blend out the white when it was a cream, I'm going to pick it up on my shadow switch. I'm gonna go in with the Makeup by Mario white because it's a little bit creamier and blend that upwards into that cool transition shade that we created. Like, I'm like laying it down in the blend motion and then I'm like leaving it alone. Don't be there with the window wipers for too long. We ain't doing all that. Picking nothing up on the brush that we use for the transition shade, we're just gonna sweep over that just a little bit. A lot of eyeshadow looks are just putting on, taking away, putting on, taking away. This isn't looking as like batty as I want it to. What is gonna take this up a notch? Okay, so I don't recommend doing this if you don't know what you're doing. You shouldn't be doing this look anyway if you don't know what you're doing, but for real. I'm gonna take that little tiny detail brush that we use for the inner corner and I'm gonna go back in with the Curve Case Essential. Just because I really need that inner corner to be defined. Like, that's what gives it the battiness of it all. You see how much that white like is like just doled down throughout the look? Yeah, this is gonna bring that back. Okay, now you're gonna tap out those edges to make sure it blends with the pre-existing shadow. And instead of setting this with eyeshadow, we're gonna set this with translucent powder because I ain't playing today. So at this point you can use whatever eyeliner that you would like. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the black eyeliner in the color case just because it's here, just because, you know, she popped out and had her little moment, so let's give her her props. It's a very deep black and it's gonna be better than any like liquid eyeliner you're gonna put on because it's gonna be deep in color and it's going to be like matte. Picking that up on the detailed brush, it doesn't have to be angled. I just probably sat on this, so no thicker than usual, no differently than usual, just lay it down. We're going to handle the rest of the inner corner later because I don't want it to like bleed too much, but for the wing we're going to be ready for takeoff in a second. I kind of want it to be a strong wing just to like create some contrast with this white. Y'all remember when I said if you're not like kind of intermediate at eyeshadow, you shouldn't be doing this look? Yeah, that's because when you're putting black on top of a white base, you are gonna see every swerve in that corner. Like, I'm being so for real. So if you don't have a steady hand with eyeliner, girl, okay. Now we're gonna take that in the waterline. It's gonna get spicy. Alrighty. I feel like the silhouette of the eye could be a little bit better, but I kind of like how it's downturned a little bit. Feeling like a trumpet is coming your way. Boom to me like boom, 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 boom. it's base time. Cleaning up that white, we don't want none of that. Cleaning my brushes before I put them back. For the base, I want to do something really special, so stick around. But for now, we're gonna go in foundation, the infamous NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, also highly favored. The House Labs foundation. I really want high glam today. Really high coverage around my mouth. Okay, we're gonna bronze. Making sure those cheeks are double emphasized. You can't contour your double chin away. Today, I actually do kind of want to do a little bit of contour. Like I said, we're going high glam today. Like, so, curve case. I love Snatch and Laid, but Blend and Snatch is like the cool turn version of that. And we're gonna sweep that. Now, going high glam doesn't always mean more product. I feel like in the past, I really have thought that and have done that. But if you want a high glam, high impact look, use the products for what they are meant for. In the past, I would be sweeping on the contour. Like, I would be like, and then blend it out and just do a whole bunch. But no, I don't need all of that. I just need to place it where it needs to be placed with the right amount of products, make sure it's prominent enough, and go about my day. It's just all about knowledge and the execution of technique. Those are big words for Elmo. That was actually kind of good. Now it's finna get spicy. Okay, now we getting into what we really kind of came here for, aside from the eyes. The blush. Again, with the curve case deep, we're gonna take that. Yeah, I know y'all see it from here. Just placing that mainly on the apples of the cheek, because it is the deepest shade of blush we're going to go into. Make sure to blend that in with the bronzer. If you know me, you know this. The ColourPop stick for blush, I don't even know how old this is. I don't know what shade it is. I don't even know if they still have it, but she's an OG for sure. I love her. So I'm gonna take her and place that a little bit above where that blush was. Take it right under the wing and right under the outer skirts of my eye. We're not dragging this too far out. We're mainly just keeping it kind of right here where the eyebrow ends. Now, I don't recommend dipping your brush directly into the product like that, but I've been dealing with her for a long time. Don't be doing everything that I do. Now, I would take my Rare Beauty blush right now because it is the lightest kind of blush. I don't want to deal with the wetness of that product, so I'm gonna take her big sister, the Ultimate Curve Case Collective. Damn, y'all, damn. I'm gonna mix Pink Party with this one, which is Cold Heart. Y'all see? Just kind of really going on top of that ColourPop eyeshadow. I mean, that ColourPop stick. Now, I'm not like a pro at this method of blush. I've done it a few times. I kind of get what to do, but I still have my challenges like anybody else does, so we in this together. So I'm gonna mix my Anastasia concealer with my long comb, and I'm gonna place her like kind of where that blend is gonna start, and I'm gonna blend that into that blush. Just like you created an ombre with the blush, we're creating an ombre with the concealer. And then we're just gonna go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now I'm gonna use a different brush to blend that in because I don't want the warmthness of this to get into the coolness of the white of the eyeshadow. Very dense brush. This isn't light enough for me. I don't know what's going on actually. So I'm gonna take the Born This Way in the shade Sand and go right over that. Take this along the bridge of the nose. If you forgot the plot, we going emo today. All the emo girlies have very skinny noses. I'm not gonna lie, a beauty blender would be good for this because you'll be able to blend this out a little bit easier. However, if I were to go into a beauty blender with the sponge and going right under here and try to blend that out, it's gonna get everywhere because you really have no like minuscule control over it. So brushes are just superior. I'm gonna test out the Danessa Myricks Liquid Blurring Balm Spray, and I'm gonna wait till the sun comes down, and we're gonna see if we really don't have to set our face with powders, and if we can just use this, because that's what the girlies are using on TikTok. So I'm gonna be back with the sun gone away, and we're gonna test this out. I'll be back. It looks okay. It doesn't look like how the people were saying on TikTok, like, oh my gosh, it was matte without powders. It wasn't like that, but it does feel matte and it does feel like set down in place, which is cool, but I don't think it's gonna replace a powder for me. But since we've been sitting for a while, I'm gonna blend out my concealer and then we can move on into powders. About face translucent powder, twirl it on the back of my hand and going in. Ooh, setting nicely. That blush blend is definitely one of the best I've done. My powders are setting way differently. And I don't know if I like it. It looks, does this powder have me gagged? Like, what? That freaking spray has me gagged. Everything looks like I've freaking like set it down to the max with powder. Damn. Like, this is matte to the max. This is kind of insanity. I don't know if this was the right time to like try it on new product, but the way this is mattifying my skin is insane. I feel like I just tried the Maybelline Lumi Matte Foundation. This is the Fenty Beauty Pressed Powder Foundation. Going in. Like I said, coverage around the mouth, it's gonna give you high glam. Instead of baking with my About Face, I'm gonna bake with my One Size Ultra Pink because of the blush that we have on. But I'm low-key afraid to bake right now. Like, what? Just to blend in those blushes with that under eye. I'm gonna take that same shade that we started with, laying that down. Ooh, it looks gorgeous. This looks insane, by the way. Is it giving Painted by Esther? So I'm gonna go into the blush, tap it off, and then I'm gonna rub it around on my hand just to make sure it's evenly distributed and I know how the blush is gonna lay down on the skin, because this is very pivotal on how the blush is gonna turn out. I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury, go over those edges and sweep off that bake. Yes, we're sweeping off bake with blush today. This is kind of insane, right? I'm not tripping. Just wait till we do the eyebrows. That's what I'm saying. My Made by Mitchell Eye Brights palette. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like the white, especially in the inner corner, is very like crackly right now. So the eyeliner couldn't like glide on the way that it usually does. And when I take pictures, they can't be too up close because do I want to do white right here? Yes, we're doing it. Back to the face, I'm taking the Fenty Diamond Balm in the shade Pink Ice. I'm gonna take this ColourPop Elsa eyeshadow collab. And I'm gonna take this white, don't be afraid. I'm gonna take the white and swirl it on the back of my hand because it shifts pink. I'm gonna just let y'all deal with that emotionally. Making the nose real skinty at the Cupid's bow because it's a special occasion. And that's it. Be very careful with the bottom mascara as well, but you're gonna want to put it on thick. This is the perfect mascara for bottom lashes. I have essentially no lashes on my bottom lashes. They're not long. This just makes it so much better. This makes them amazing and thick. You can kind of see this is like 2 strokes and this is this side, and you see the comparison to the other side. Yeah, an emo look would not be complete without a black lip, okay? A black lip. This is Kylie in 808, but that was Fenty lip oil in Raspberry Jams. If you know, you know. Hey, so I'm here to give you a PSA. When you film on a camera, there's no way you can Facetune that. You know, I look like I Facetune myself in real life. I look like unreal. Let's just say that and move on. This is the final look. So yes, this is the end of the video and this is the final look. This turned out insane. This turned out way better than I ever expected, and I really can say that the only different thing I did was use this spray. I wasn't even trying to like I wasn't even trying to like make a review or do anything. That is insane. That is the most insane product I have tried in a minute. It's technique, it's time, practice, and it's the Danessa Myricks liquid blurring balm spray. But anyways, we gothed it out today with the white eyeshadow. White eyeshadow is kind of hard to work with, but if you're like okay with working with eyeshadow, I highly recommend it because it just brings a different essence to your face. I cannot put on makeup and like just be a normal person. But brushes I use are in the description. Also on my Amazon storefront. Highly recommend a eyeshadow switcher sponge thing. Highly recommend if you're trying to get into eyeshadow. It's very beginner friendly. It's going to help you in your eyeshadow journey. And if you want to see me looking hot on TikTok, definitely go and follow my TikTok. It's the same as my YouTube. And I posted my pictures on Instagram. So when you see this, they will be up on Instagram. So go follow me over there as well. After plugging everything, you don't have to follow me on anywhere. I know you're not subscribed, but subscribe now. Because I know you want to look like this. I know you want to make up look like this. This is insanity. And I'm in love with makeup. Not myself. Anyways. I'm happy on how it came out, as you can tell. But bye.